Well, a very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us on this 9th day of November 2020. On this 9th day of November 2023 on Science TV Prime Edition, the Thursday edition, beg your pardon. So in this broadcast we have a lot lined up for you, including the news making headlines today and what's happening in the world of sports, not forgetting the Money Matters segment. Today we are still on our topic of drop shipping, and today we'll be talking about the benefits and disadvantages of drop shipping as an online business. So stick around for that if you are thinking of starting to be a drop shipper, to be informed later on in the broadcast. This is Chris Mololo. Our sign language interpreter is Tobias Omondi. And beginning with our day's top stories, President William Ruto today delivered his first State of the Nation address in Parliament, as it is in accordance with the Article 132 of the Constitution. The head of state provided a report on the progress of the nation in realization of national values, international obligations, and the status of the country's national security. President Ruto provided a report of what he believes are the successes of his administration's bottom-up agenda, among them the issue of judicial and national police service reforms. The president also announced that Hustler Fund was not going to miss out from his performance, largely because it is one of the main things that propelled him into office. The State of the Nation address provides the president with a platform to address the issues facing the country and the steps being taken to build the Kenyan nation. Let's listen in to the president.
It has been my manifest intention to live up to all the commitments set out in the plan, and despite enormous challenges and tremendous difficulties, we have made encouraging progress in a positive direction. This has not only vindicated our philosophy of inclusive transformation in pursuit of shared prosperity, but it has also increased our confidence that we are on the right path and shall, in due course, deliver the transformation of our nation in full. It is important for us to point out that we began the implementation of our mandate to transform Kenya's economy from the bottom up under extreme difficult circumstances, not to excuse failure or to justify inability or omission to do the necessary work. Not at all. Rather, we do it to emphasize the significance of our progress, underscore the possibility of transformation under daunting conditions, and express well-founded confidence that when sufficient progress is made, we shall do much more and go much further in delivering the Kenya we want for our generations and also for posterity. In the course of consulting Kenyans from all walks of life during the formulation of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, the foundational contribution of health to citizen well-being and the role of costs in driving up poverty were identified as chronic. The implications are very clear, and we cannot afford to delay the delivery of universal health care anymore. Consequently, we have instituted radical reforms in the provision of healthcare services in Kenya, including the enactment of 4 new laws that will anchor the implementation of this bottom-up approach to healthcare. I am tremendously grateful to this House and honorable members for enacting the Primary Health Care Act, the new Social Health Insurance Act, the Digital Health Act, and the Facility Improvement Financing Act. These laws, honorable members, will usher in and guarantee a new era in the provision of healthcare, covering all essential services from preventive, promotive, curative, palliative, and rehabilitative services, guaranteeing every Kenyan access to comprehensive and quality healthcare. Under Afya Nyumbani, we have scaled up our investment in healthcare workforce, employing 20,000 new healthcare workers, deploying 8,429 workers whose contracts had lapsed, and enrolling 3,394 interns across the country to increase the availability of human capital in our public health sector. Working with county governments, and I'm again grateful to them, we have taken measures to resolve the perennial challenge of human resource management in the health sector, occasioning strikes, by establishing the Kenya Health Human Resource Advisory Council, which will be a trusted mediator between government at both levels and our health sector workers. Further, under the Afya Nyumbani model, we identified preventive care as an essential pillar of healthcare service delivery because it enables Kenyans to manage their conditions early enough before they cause serious harm in their well-being and productivity. Community health promotion is our bottom-up intervention to deliver preventive and promotive health solutions at the grassroots by deploying community health promoters to visit Kenyans at their homes, provide basic diagnoses for common conditions, and refer cases to appropriate medical facilities. Together with all the 47 counties, and again I am grateful to the governors, we have deployed 100,000 community health promoters fully equipped with the necessary kits and an electronic community health information system. In the last 1 month, CHPs have attended to 1.2 million households, just in the last 1 month. I spoke on phone to Mr. Masood Dirie, a community health promoter in Garissa, yesterday, who told me he has been a community health promoter, health volunteer since 2011. Unlike before, now he has a full medical kit and has used it to confirm that 7 people in his locality had high blood pressure. In a twist of fate, he tested himself and discovered that he too had high blood pressure. That's what he told me. And so, apart from referring others, he also had to make way to the hospital.
Listened to the President Ruto's first State of the Nation address. Do you think he talked about what you expected as a Kenyan, and how would you measure his achievements and failures so far? Talk to us on our social media platforms. Would be glad to sample your feedback, okay? Right, let's move on. The Kenya Union of Journalists, KUJ, has issued a 7-day ultimatum to the Standard Media Group to pay the journalists, failure to which they will join hands with staff in holding the media house accountable. According to the union, they have held consultative meetings with the Standard Media Group, but the media organization has not implemented any of the promises they made. Journalists working at the media house have decried lack of payment for 6 months and 10 months for the photography. Eric Odiwor, that's the Secretary General of the Kenya Union of Journalists, has rallied behind the disentangled workers, giving a call to action to support the staff through picketing.
You cannot be championing and calling for the rights of journalists when the employers themselves are the ones who are violating the rights of journalists. Who will respect journalists if the employers don't respect them? Solidarity with them. So we will have a solidarity strike in support and in solidarity with our friends and colleagues at Standard Group. So we are not just addressing this press conference and forget about it. As the industry, we've had a number of consultations, and we said for a start, let us come and speak about it so that it can be heard. First of all, everybody can know what is happening at Standard, because
is an answer to a call of desperation. Just yesterday, we have seen messages from some of our colleagues threatening to end their lives if they're not paid by this Friday. It only means that the situation is there, and it's important that all of us speak out, and it's important that all of us express ourselves, whether anonymously or whether through the associations that we are affiliated to. That way, we have more to say, and we have a lot we can easily present to the organizations that you represent.
Happening right now in this country. Yes, we understand there are issues that are coming up. There's economical challenges here and there, but that does not mean as an organization that you should infringe on the rights of your workers.
Just imagine in these tough economic times without salary for 6 or even 10 months. As much as this work needs passion, bills have to be paid, right? We hope this issue will be resolved for the Standard Media Group to pay their journalists. Now, in other news, the High Court has suspended the Gazette notice that indicated increased charges on a number of government services, including application of national IDs and passports. This comes after a petitioner moved to court challenging the Gazette notice dated November 6th. In the petition, Dr. Magare Gekenyi argues that the cost of the listed services was increased arbitrarily without any formula or public participation whatsoever. He further argued that the increase is likely to affect young Kenyans and hence make it difficult for them to get identity cards, which will lead to an inability to get job opportunities. The matter will come up for confirmation of compliance and further directions on November 29th, 2023. Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki has dismissed fears that the deployment of police officers to the troubled nation of Haiti will interfere with security operations in the country. Appearing before the Joint Committee of National Security and Administration from the bicameral House, CS Kindiki affirmed security operations have escalated, including the exercise to recruit the 1,000 troops for the mission. The CS further mentioned that the 1,000-member police force will be sent in batches to ensure proper coordination in the deployment.
It will be foolhardy to expose the country to threats through our engagement in the multilateral or regional programs. To be foolhardy, it's unpatriotic, and we cannot go that route. In fact, the infrastructure for our country's fight against serious and complicated crime is intact. Our counterterrorism infrastructure is intact. Our infrastructure on the fight against banditry is intact. And there will be no disturbance. In fact, we want to use this occasion to try and even bolster that infrastructure as we engage bilaterally and multilaterally with the friends of Kenya. So rest assured, Senator Dulo, the Joint Committee, and the people of Kenya, that we will not disturb our internal operational capabilities. And let's leave it at that for now.
Over 70 Embu County government workers who were recently laid off have protested against the move, terming it unfair. The workers, who congregated at the county headquarters seeking audience with relevant authorities, alleged that the dismissal was illegal as they were not given prior notice. The contracts of the workers who have been in service in the Enforcement Department since 2016 expired in August but were not renewed as they had anticipated, rendering them redundant. The move, they claimed, has subjected them to psychological and financial trauma as they did not anticipate the layoffs. Led by the County Government Workers Union Secretary General Robert Duba, the workers demanded to be reinstated as they submitted their petition to the County Secretary and CEC Administration and Public Service.
Contracts of about 99 of them was due to expire. Now, instead of appraising whether they need this job, we have no problem. If they did not need the job anymore and they say your contract has expired, you leave, no problem. They still want that job done at the same level, for same salary, with people same qualification. But instead of allowing them to continue, therefore, which is the expectation they had, and they have been involving the county in discussions about this, they lay them off, many of them, and employ people from outside. And tell them one fine morning, without notice, you are out on the streets. Na isitoshe, unaanza kulebo lawa kwa majina mabaya. Unasema hawa ni wakora. Just because you want to remove them from service, unatanish jina yao. This we do not agree. This is not proper. It's against all forms of employment. Kwa hivyo tunakataa katakata kutofuata sheria. They are entitled to notice which was not done. They are entitled to those jobs because that is the same job for which they are getting other people to do. Yes. And many of those people we have gathered do not have the necessary qualifications to get them out of this contract. So we are demanding that they be gotten back. We have put this demand to the county. They have told us they are studying our petition and they are going to get back to us within a short time.
Well, that's it for the news updates. We are now taking a short break, but of course there is more to come as soon as we return from this break. Stay with us. We are coming back with the sports news in just a bit.